Hey, what's up, First Tube? Today was an awesome day. That's why I'm wearing all these wonderful light up things on me, you know? They look awesome. And I'm wearing them because I'm in a bright mood today. Because I love exactly what my team did. Because we performed to the best of our ability. We did great. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. That was total sarcasm there. We went 3-5. Very, very disappointed. Actually, disappointed isn't the word I'd use. I'd use sad. Um, for those of you that read my blog, I mentioned about nobody wanting to be the driver, and a lack of motivation, and that came back to bite us in the ass like I thought it would. Our first match, we went out, we hung our Uber to, we made a logo, we won 30-0. We won 24-6, 24-0. And I thought we could have done that better, but I took it at what it was. Our second match, we come out, we're playing Horsepower, who right now I think is 7-1, if I'm correct, and like ranked in the top 8. We came out and we were competitive in the match. We had an UberTube on, we had 2 pieces of a logo on, and of course our alliance partners are, yeah, because it's Florida and we have 17 rookies, and only 30 some odd teams were inspected as of early Friday morning, and yeah, no comment off of that. I'll let other people complain about that. But we come out and we have our final piece on. What we didn't realize was it wasn't just poor driving. Our driver wasn't aggressive enough when he was driving to pick up tubes, and it cost us, at least in that match, I think. When we were going up with our arm, one of the, I think it was one of the cables, or one of the fuses blew for our arm, our actual gripper, which creates the tilt on our arm, if you've ever seen any of our matches, which unfortunately are not being archived because NASA video crew wants to be total dick jobs. But yeah, so we're going to hang the square, which is right over the Uber tube, and we're about to turn, what, 15 into 30? And we tilt the wrong way. Our tilt isn't working, so we try to jam it in there, and it tilts backwards. The tube tilts backwards onto our arm. And us not seeing this while we were testing, because we never blew the fuse, we never had an issue with limit switch or anything like that about our tilt. We have this thing on our robot, and now we can't get it off. So the natural thing is they try to get it off, and this is with about, I want to say, 45 seconds left. We spend the rest of the match trying to get it off, instead of realizing, hey, last 15 seconds, 801 has a mini-bot, let's go try to stop them from, let's try to stop them from getting to their tower. They deploy at the last second, and they get their bot up after the buzzer sounded, and with the 10-second grace period, they end up winning 45-12 after we got a penalty. Third match, I was howling at 168 to get past inspection, and I was checking up on them like every 2 or 3 minutes. I was running between my pit and their pit and inspection, and they got past inspection maybe with 5 minutes to spare. They went inspection, I think, straight to right behind where we were going to be for the next match. They get on the field, so-so. Our robot, we still haven't realized what the issue is with our arm, with the actual arm. We just thought that our operator didn't tilt back, and our operator did an awful job, at least in the first match. He was looking away from where we were hanging the tube, and it made absolutely no sense. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So we don't realize what's going on. We miss an autonomous, and we can't score because we go to get a tube, and whoop, the same thing happens. So we're stuck. We lose the match. I think 54-0 because Spam gets their mini bot up. Our fourth match, this was the match I really badly wanted to win. We were with Daisy, who was 1-2 at the time, and we were with Tech Tigers. We were up against Pink, who finally had their mini bot working, and up against 103 and 1612. We get out there, we miss an autonomous. And when I say miss, one of the robots, I think, tripped us. One of the robots hit us when we were moving in autonomous. Just a slight motion. I'm not sure. I didn't get a clear view of it. I didn't see exactly who it was, but we got hit, and we missed on our deployment. Actually, all three of us missed, if I'm correct. 1251, 341, and we missed. And it went downhill from there. We weren't able to provide scoring help because our tube was stuck on our robot and we weren't able to get it off. So we lost that match. I don't remember the score, and I thought that was a match we should have. I thought the first four we should have all won. The fifth one we go into, we decide, okay, let's give our drivers a break and we're gonna switch to our backup team. We make a couple little errors. We don't open up our claw and loosen it, so then we can put the Uber tube on for our match, and we can't run autonomous that match. So we miss, or we don't get it on, and we end up losing the match. And did we end up losing that match, or did we end up winning it? I can't remember. But I think that was a match against 1902, so we did end up winning that match eventually. I don't have any score in front of me. So we're 2-3 at that point, which is halfway decent, considering that a lot of teams haven't gone through inspection and stuff like that. So 4 qualification points gets you in the upper 20s, which is meh. We could do better. We go out our next match, which is a match which I went up to my team. I told them, okay, best case scenario we go 9-1. Worst case scenario we go 7. Actually, best case scenario we go 9-1. Realistic we go 8-2. Worst case we go like 5-5. So this was the one match that I said if we would go 9-1, this was the match we were gonna lose. We get out there, and we're using our backup team. Our backup operator, tilted the arm the wrong way, so our tube lands backwards on our arm again, and we lose the match like 23-6. And this was a match I was afraid of because you had, I think, 1065, who's really good. One of the mentors used to be a mentor of my old team. 1027, who's good, who deployed their mini bot, I think, 1 or 2 times, who was pretty decent, and then 1251, who was halfway decent. So I was afraid we might end up seeing 3 logos and 2 mini bots deployed, and we'd lose by 80. But it's only 23-6, and we get our Uber tube on, and if we were just to make a logo, one logo, we would have won. And our operator just royally fucked up on that one. And our second driver, our backup driver, was much more aggressive with the robot, and I really enjoyed his driving skill. Our operators were just shit awful. So we switch back. We win our next match with our autonomous, which is good, and we hang it. I don't think we hung any. I think we hung a couple tubes in that one, but I don't remember. And then our last match, same shit happens. We tilt the wrong way, and yeah, we lose that one. I think we got 1 on before then, and we tilt the wrong way and we lose. So we end up 3-5, and I'm not a happy camper because tomorrow our first match is against 386, which has a pretty good mini bot and whatnot, and 179, which is like the best robot, Swamp. And I gotta give props out to Swamp. They have one of the best robots, but I have a semi-strategy against them, and hopefully it works. Hopefully our alliance partners are able to employ the strategy. I think we can be very competitive when it comes down to tubes versus 386 and 2383, and I think it's going to come down to mini bots, and I think we might have first running tomorrow morning, hopefully. If not, then there really is no way to win. There really is no way for us to win that match. The last match, I really think we can win. And at this point, honestly, we don't deserve to be picked for eliminations. I'm gonna say this: if any of the teams we're selecting are watching, I personally don't think we deserve to be picked for eliminations. If there's one thing that we do have a deserving trait, is that we have an autonomous mode that can, you know, hit dead on, and nobody can do 2 here, so getting 3 Uber Tubes in autonomous is very critical for a third robot. So maybe some of the smart teams might pick that up and say, you know what, let's put a flyer on them, because I mean, worst case scenario, go out and play D, or go out feed tubes or something. But we're too busy driving like shit when we have our main driver on there, and operators are shit. And we're too busy trying to get the tubes off the back of a robot, and instead of saying, you know what, fuck this shit, we're gonna go play defense, and we're gonna just beat the shit out of other robots. But we don't do that, and unfortunately, I think that's what we need to employ. I mean, our arm is great. I like our arm. I think we can, with practice, we would easily be able to do 5 or 6 tubes, plus autonomous, but we don't have the practice, and that's something that, like I said, none of these kids were motivated to do, and it really pissed me off. Today was one of the days where I'm like, you know what, I might not come back next year to this team, and right now I'm 60-40. I'm not going to explain why, but this was one of the reasons. There were a lot of things behind the scenes. I'm going to talk about that after the season, and I'll leave that at that. But tomorrow we got 2 matches. I think we can go 1-1. If we get our mini-bot working, maybe 2-0, and if we pull off the upset, that I think we probably won't, but if we do, if it's a miracle, then, I mean, yeah, cool stuff. But we'll see how it turns out. Award-wise, I didn't expect to win anything, so I'm not worried about that. I don't think we're deserving of anything. Our robot, we don't have any student motivation. I don't know how our students are talking to the judges. I don't know any of that shit, so fuck it. Yeah, you could tell I'm in a pissed mood. I'm really cussing a lot, and you know what? Fuck that shit. Props out to 1503. Good job on the Xerox Creativity Award. Congrats on that. And good luck in that qualification match 59, that big showdown tomorrow versus Simcoe. I know you lost your first match, which was, I think, qualification match 35 to them. So hopefully you learned something and you guys can employ it there. If not, then, you know, we'll see. But driver skill is a difference in this game, and we don't have it. Maybe we might have it in DC, but I don't think we will there either. DC is going to be a tougher event. 1089, 16, 1089, 1511, 2016, great robots. 233. Yeah. I'm gonna get going. I'm just mumbling now. I'm gonna get back to doing something. Maybe watch TV for another hour, get 2 hours of sleep, and head on back out and do this thing for the last time, at least for now. So, peace until tomorrow night.